What if I told you that there's a kingdom that spans an entire ocean, a single nation with one foot in the cool, historic heart of Europe and the other basking in the warm, turquoise waters of the Caribbean? Sounds impossible, right? Well, today we're going to unravel the fascinating paradox that is the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Go ahead, picture the Netherlands for a second. What do you see? I'm guessing it's probably the reflection of those beautiful old canal houses in Amsterdam. Or maybe you're thinking of those vast, endless fields of tulips, or the classic silhouette of a windmill turning slowly against a wide open sky. Yeah, that's the image we all know.
But now let's jump thousands of miles away. Picture this instead. Brilliant, white sand, water so clear you can see the coral reefs below, and streets lined with brightly colored buildings shimmering under a tropical sun. This is the Caribbean. So how can both of these worlds be part of the same country? Here's the twist. They're not.
And this right here is the key that unlocks the whole puzzle. We're not talking about the country of the Netherlands. We're talking about the Kingdom of the Netherlands. You see, it's a single sovereign state, but it's made up of 4 distinct, co-equal countries all united under one crown.
It's a really easy mistake to make. The European part, the Netherlands, is so massive in both size and population that its name has kind of become shorthand for the whole thing. But as we're about to see, it's just one piece, a very, very large piece for sure, of a much more complex and fascinating global puzzle.
So let's meet the whole family. First, you've got the powerhouse, the Netherlands, home to over 17 million people. Then you cross the Atlantic to the Caribbean, and there you find Aruba, Curaçao, and Sint Maarten. And this is where it gets kind of wild. Just look at the numbers here. The difference in scale is just staggering. And yet, constitutionally, they're all equal partners. It's like a family of giants and jewels. This chart really puts that imbalance into perspective. Over 98% of the kingdom's entire population lives in Europe. The 3 Caribbean countries, all combined, barely make up 2%. That's a demographic reality that's almost unheard of anywhere else on Earth, and it really shapes everything about how this whole kingdom works. So you have to ask, how did this strange transatlantic family even come to be? Well, to understand the present, you've got to look to the past. And this story, like so many others, begins in the long shadow of a powerful empire. The big turning point really came in 1954, right after World War II. You know, the old world of empires was crumbling, so a new charter was signed. This wasn't a charter of rule, it was a charter of partnership. The former colonies were reformed into theoretically equal countries within the kingdom. Now, over the years, the family changed. Suriname went its own way in '75. And then in 2010, the Netherlands Antilles dissolved, which gave us the 4-country structure that we have today. Now, this wasn't just some benevolent gesture. The world had fundamentally changed. These new ideas of self-determination, captured in documents just like the Atlantic Charter, were blowing across the globe. For the Dutch, the choice was pretty clear. You either adapt the old empire, or you watch it get swept away by history. So this really unique history has created a kingdom of absolutely breathtaking contrasts. You have 2 worlds separated by an entire ocean, but they're bound together by a single crown. Let's take a look at what that actually looks like on the ground. The contrasts are just staggering. In Europe, you have a land famously reclaimed from the sea, flat and temperate. In the Caribbean, you have volcanic islands rising dramatically from the ocean. And here's a fantastic piece of trivia for you. The highest point in the entire kingdom, it's not in Europe, it's on the tiny Caribbean island of Saba. It's a volcano called Mount Scenery. I mean, from language to landscape, these really are 2 different worlds. And get this, the differences go right down to the money in your pocket. Believe it or not, this single kingdom uses 4 different official currencies. You've got the euro in Europe, the US dollar on some of the smaller islands, the Aruban florin, and the Caribbean guilder. It's just a vivid example of how much autonomy each of these countries really has. Okay, so with all these really deep-seated differences, how does this complex machine actually work? I mean, what's the glue that holds this whole transatlantic puzzle together? Well, the solution is a really careful division of power. Each of the 4 countries is basically its own boss when it comes to internal stuff, things like education, healthcare, local laws. But when it comes to the big picture, matters of defense, foreign policy, and citizenship, they act as one. These are called kingdom affairs. And it means that whether you're from a farm in Friesland or a beach in Aruba, you hold the exact same Dutch passport.
The ultimate symbol of all that unity is the monarch. King Willem-Alexander is the head of state for the entire kingdom. And while he lives in the Netherlands, he's represented by a governor in each of the Caribbean countries, who acts as his official representative and a link between all the different governments.
So what do you even call a creation like this? It doesn't really fit neatly into any political science textbook. It's not quite a federation, but it's not a confederation either. The term experts use is a special one, sui generis. It's a Latin phrase that just means of its own kind. It's a political hybrid, truly unlike anything else in the world.
Which brings us to a final, pretty profound question. Is the Kingdom of the Netherlands just a relic of an old empire, cleverly repackaged for the 21st century? Or is it something more? You know, in a world that seems to be getting more globalized and more fractured all at the same time, could this strange, complex, and multicultural model actually be a glimpse of the future? A kind of blueprint for how different worlds can learn to live together under one crown? It's a question that's definitely worth pondering.